Hey, you scared it off.
I'll be counting on you. Remember to stay by the traveler's side, guide him, and help him in my stead. Oh, and bring him to the garden where the moon prayer blossoms grow. There's a little lost dove there who will need his help. Go on. You too. Go and live your story. As for mine must go in a different direction.
How would you like to experience the thrill of never being held accountable for your actions? You could crush people like ants without consequence, or tear off their heads or limbs as you please. Believe me, such a life is but one small step away.
What point is he trying to make? Freedom? But the freedom to kill? To do evil and get away with it? Why would you offer me that?
The creation of a world is the ultimate scientific experiment. I have taken my research to the highest level, where I shall be not just a god, but also a servant to many sacred spirits. I shall heed the truth and perform holy deeds. A god's laboratory is the perfect playground, but it needs the right occupant to explore its full potential. Mortals are found everywhere one looks. Not so with Descenders. I'd prefer my first guest to be a distinguished individual such as yourself. And I know you could make the most of the opportunities it offers.
So the condition for entering the new world is to take innocent lives. The same dilemma that Rerir once faced. Could I really bring myself to kill others for my own benefit? Rerir did. And look where it got him.
Have you made up your mind?
I can't do it. Your playground is no place for me. You're putting your hopes in the wrong person. But we both know I'm not quite the hero you say I am either. I have my own reasons for the journey I'm on. And they aren't all selfless.
You've grown a lot since we last met. But there are still things you are unwilling to compromise on. This will only hinder you. Why don't I lower my requirements a little as a gesture of goodwill? I'll give you a little time to learn to be a less noble soul. That'll make things much easier for you.
I really doubt I could live that sort of life.
And yet you already sound less defiant than a moment ago. The benefits appeal to you because you can read the signs of the times. Why don't we return to my research facility? Your last visit was so rushed. There is much that I have yet to show you. Now to that question,
Heroes don't attack from behind. Guess I'm no hero.
This is most disappointing.
Now then.
A new face. Interesting.
You're still gonna call me Hat Guy after that, huh? I didn't see anyone else in there who needed saving. It's nothing. I'll be fine. Why are you looking at me like that? Is it that shocking that I'd come to your rescue? I owed you a favor back in Sumeru. Now we're even. Distracting Dottori was tough, I won't lie. He's not gonna fall for the same trick twice. That was my one shot. I'd hoped to use it to take him out. Ugh. I never wanted to obliterate someone more than I do right now. Dottori doesn't recognize me, but his segments were originally made based on an analysis of my operational principles. I expect it's only a matter of time before he figures out what I am.
So Dottori doesn't recognize Wanderer because he deleted himself from Irminsul. Did he really miss his only chance for revenge by saving me?
Why the long face? Hey, I'm not blaming you, okay? And I'm not complaining either. Rescuing you and killing Dottori are equally important goals. Everyone would be pretty stuck without you. It's best you live to fight another day.
How are you holding up? Are you all right? Hat Guy said to put safety first, so we agreed to run as far away as we could after leaving the energy field and only meet up once it was safe.
You don't look injured. It seems that Dottori didn't do anything to you.
All right. Rescue operation complete. Let's head back. There's a lot more work to be done before this is over.
Understood. I will bear the Tsaritsa's decree in mind. I don't see what's so awesome about it, though. Does he really think everyone else is as immature as him? I'm not stooping to Tartaglia's level.
I thought you might say that. How's your progress?
Quite promising, actually. That alchemist Albedo gave me a few ideas. Remember how I asked you to look up some files for me? That stuff on the Nachtschitzenkreuz Institute. René de Petrichor and Jakob Ingold. Alain Guillotin despised René's theories and methods, but he never managed to come up with better alternatives either. So I adopted some of René's ideas.
I thought Alain was like a father to you. He and René were mortal enemies, were they not?
And What would you say if Linny and his friends one day learned something useful from someone you utterly detested?
I would applaud them for it. That would mean that they have surpassed me.
For all we know, Alain Giltan might have thought the same thing. Not that it matters, though. He's dead, and I'm alive. So it's my call to make. Once you die, it doesn't matter how great you were in life. Only the living get to decide what happens next.
Hey, come on out. They're back.
Huh? You're back? And your head's still screwed on? And you still have all your limbs?
What does it look like? Way to keep your composure, madam.
Excuse you. I am perfectly composed.
Glad you're okay. Yes, it's a huge relief.
Worry? Oh, yeah, right. You think we, the Fatui, were worried about you?
We were worried sick.
Hey!
The Traveler and I were already friends. You are free to join this mission in whatever capacity you please. Much like your tea parties.
It's a laugh a minute with you guys.
I must say, I was quite surprised when Mr. Albedo told me he would need no additional aid.
We discussed this on our way back as well. I am rarely so unequivocal, but in this case, we had full confidence in Hat Guy.
He said he knew what he was doing. Albedo and I pretty much had to just wait outside on standby. Meanwhile, Hat Guy broke into the energy field and rescued the Traveler solo.
You didn't have to mention that.
Well, I'm thoroughly impressed. You are a force to be reckoned with, Hat Guy.
Is he back? Is he really back? Traveler! It's really you! Oh, thank goodness! Paimon missed you so much!
You can finally breathe easy, Paimon.
It's great to have you back in one piece! Oh, Paimon's been having nightmares the whole time you were gone! Look at them. You know, once you reach my age, there's nothing better than watching a misty-eyed reunion between friends.
That's nothing. Same goes when you get to my age, too. I bet Aino and Anefa would be tearing up as well if they were here.
Varka, I'm not sure Anefa can cry.
Oh, yeah, good point. Hey, your eyes are looking a little red and puffy. Come here, let's hug it out.
What? Ew, no! No, thank you. You're not my dad, okay? Knock it off!
Everyone, I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you. But the silver lining is, I didn't come away from this ordeal empty-handed. While I was being held captive, I learned a lot about Dottoro's current capabilities, and what he plans to do with them. Allow me to explain.
The three moon goddesses were even more powerful than we imagined. No wonder Dottore believes himself to be equal to the gods, maybe even superior.
Utter blasphemy.
While everyone was gone, Nefer and I made an interesting discovery, and I believe Miss Sandrone has something to share too. Ma'am, perhaps you could do the honors?
Called it. Getting rid of a pesky troublemaker like her is like trying to clean up after a crumbly cake. It always comes back to haunt you.
Our next step is to find a way to bring her back.
A place where time flows backwards, with no destination in sight. Surely it must have been created for a specific purpose. But I fear the answers are buried deep into VIII's history, held by great powers beyond our reach.
It sounds like she's on a specific path through time, just traveling in the opposite direction to us. The question is, where does that path lead? Or will it keep going to infinity?
We considered that question as well. Strictly speaking, time is not infinite.
Indeed not. Every road has an end.
Nicole! You sure love quietly sneaking in mid-conversation.
I do, in fact. It's something I've always done at our mages' tea parties. Quiet, mysterious, and persuasive. You wonder what lies at the end of her road. Well, just as the world has a beginning and an end, so too does time. And so, the end of the road is the moment that Tevat was born. But where Miss Columbina will end up along this road, that depends on where this particular river of reverse time began.
What about the original moons and the moon goddesses? Do they have a beginning too?
All things do. In the beginning, no moons adorned the sky. It was the Dragon King Nibelung who raised the 3 moons into the heavens, and thus were the moon goddesses born. They were shadows of the planet, born to wield Nibelung's authority and oversee the world on his behalf. They were extensions of his will, manifestations of his majesty. But then one day, they disappeared just as suddenly as they had once been brought into being. Nobody knew where they had gone.
Like I thought, no more paths back to reality have emerged since. But how can I be sure that I'm going the right way without scenes from reality to keep me on track? I can't even be sure of how long I've been walking for. The further I travel, the less stable this space becomes. There are even moments where I can sense something that feels like abyssal energy. They can just materialize out of thin air. I have to keep my wits about me. Here of Solnari? I can't believe it.
You are the moon goddess. But how? Please, there's no need. I'm not interested in fighting anymore.
I find that a little difficult to believe.
Yeah. Honestly, so do I. The way you used my own power against me was a brilliant strategy. And then, in the final moment before I was thrown into this space, I got to see an old friend.
Mr. Dainsleif.
Right. It was so long ago now. But we were friends once. When I first got here, I was filled with hatred, remorse, and rage. How I cursed and devoured. I tore everything here apart. I was consumed by the desire to leave this place and have my vengeance. But to no avail. This is a place with no exit. This is the second time I've entered this space. Though I have no memory of the first, I was torn to shreds the moment I entered. But this time I survived. It must be partly because of this new body, and partly because of all the Kuvaki I absorbed in Nodcry.
Are you the source of the abyssal power in here?
Not all of it. Some is from when I first arrived here and tried to destroy everything. But there was already a degree of abyssal power here before I entered. And like a venomous snake baking in the merciless sun, it tried to slither into my shadow.
Tried to? So, you rejected it?
Yes. Because after that, the world suddenly became silent for a moment.
What do you mean?
The voices in my head, they were gone. And then I saw her.
Her?
Thelindis. My former lover.
Never mentioned that she saw a memory of Thelindis leaping into the moon's reflection.
More precisely, I saw her afterimage. I'm sure the real her is long gone. She was just an ordinary Conrian. She couldn't have survived here for very long. Anyway, why have you come here? Didn't you know it was a dead end?
If I hadn't escaped through the moon gate, my friends would have been in far greater danger.
Oh, I see. Because of your power. The power of a moon goddess.
What?
You'd like to know how I know, wouldn't you? The one who resurrected me said so. I could hear a deep lust for power in his voice.
Do you mean... Dottore?
Dottore. So that's what he's called. He'd been collecting fragments of my body for a long time. All so that he could resurrect me at the moment of his choosing. I had no interest in his research. But being as corroded by the abyss as I was, we were aligned as far as hunting the moons and recovering my strength were concerned.
So that's why the Wild Hunt suddenly became so active in Nodcry. When I left the Fatui in my weakened state, Dottore must have felt that his time had come.
Moon Goddess, could I ask a favor of you?
What?
I know this is a lot to ask, especially from someone who tried to kill you. If you refuse, I won't fight it. But this is the only thing I desire now. Nothing else matters.
What do you want?
I'd like you to take a message to Thelindis for me.
Thelindis? But...
Yes, she's dead. But like I said, I saw her afterimage. I can sense that some part of her soul remains here. Far, far ahead.
Why don't you go and speak to her yourself?
I can't. I don't know why, but I can't move freely in this space as you can. All I can see is a glimpse of her, walking away. Just like the moment when I last saw her in life. In return, I will clear these abyssal obstacles for you. No, not in return. I'll clear them for you, whether you want to help me or not. It feels like something I ought to do.
Why?
Yeah. Why, indeed. I've been asking myself that question a lot recently. Why did I do the things I did? I'm tired of it all. Tired of the person I became. People used me. And then I turned around and started using others. I hurt a lot of people. I think I grew tired of it long ago. but I wouldn't admit it to myself. And ultimately, that's how I ended up here.
What do you wish to tell her?
All of it. My past. My mistakes. Everything that happened after we were separated.
Is it okay if I give her the abridged version?
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty you can skip over. Just tell her the important parts. Whatever you think that means.
Like the part where you relentlessly tried to kill us?
It's up to you. Love demands honesty. But my relationship with Thelindis was built on lies. We hid too much from each other. But after living my whole life in the shadows, I don't want to hide anything anymore.
I will do my best.
There. The Abyss will no longer stand in your way.
Even though Mr. Dainsleif felt he had to fight you, I think he still regarded you as a friend.
Dane?
He said that you betrayed him, but he also felt great remorse at never having understood what you were truly going through.
Why tell me this?
Because if he'd known that someone could take a message to you, I believe that's what he would have said.
Thank you. It means a lot. I know this will sound strange coming from me, but don't die, Moon Goddess. I can tell that you're determined to get out of here.
He kept his word. The Abyss is no longer obstructing my path. Is that the Lindis? She wasn't far off at all. And yet, they can never meet. Hello, Miss Thelindis.
Who are you? How do you know my name? I've never seen anyone else here before.
You can call me Columbina. I promised Rerir that I'd bring a message to you.
Rerir? My Rerir? Is he well?
He's doing better than he was.
Better than he was, huh? Sounds like he's had a pretty rough time.
Others have had a rough time on his account too. In many cases, their time ran out because of him. And I'm not just talking about the children of the Crimson Moon.
So, things got worse before they got better. Could you tell me what happened, Miss Columbina?
Are you sure you wish to know?
Yes. This is my opportunity to learn the truth. No matter how hard it is to hear, I have to know.
I admire your courage. However, time is short. I cannot stay here for long. Rayrir had seeds of hatred in his heart, and many people nursed them for their own ends. On some level, everything he did was to try and find a way to see you again. But in the end, he came to regret his mistakes. He wanted to apologize for hiding his past from you. Beyond that, he did not say specifically what it was he wished to convey to you, but I'm sure that you've always been on his mind. You are what has kept him going over all these years.
I'm sorry, Miss Columbina. This is so upsetting. I'm not sure how to put my feelings into words.
It's all right. I understand. Well, that's everything from me. So, I guess I'll be...
Wait. One moment. Time flows backwards here. The road ahead only leads further and further into the past.
I know. I intend to reach the end of that road.
Without a moon marrow, without the 3 moons' power, you won't make it far. Wait, unless... Are you one of the moon goddesses?
You could say that.
I see. I often think to myself, if life is like a train ride, why haven't I reached the terminus? Where am I even going? And it's not just me, it's this whole place. Wherever it is, it seems like it's existed forever. It's such a mystery. Where is it going? I must seem so ridiculous. I can't answer these basic questions, and yet I jumped right in here without hesitating, only to be torn apart the moment I entered by powerful energy currents. Only my soul remains now. Thinking back, I was suddenly overcome with fear and terror in that moment. Perhaps I too became bewitched by the abyss. I may have been the leverage it needed to control Rayrir. I used to be a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum in Conria, researching the iridescent moon's marrow. Eventually, I came to the conclusion that time in here flows in reverse. Rayrir was one of the Finster King's retainers. With me, he was in an impossible position. It plagued him constantly. I wanted to help him escape his lot in life. I wanted him to be happy, so I thought I'd use this place to return to the past. At the time, I thought I could just go back to the day that the Finster King first found the princess. It was only after meeting the princess that the Finster King started going too far with his research into the abyss. That was the day all of our woes began. I thought I could stop the king from ever meeting her and solve everything. I couldn't kill the Finster King himself, so I had to find another way to save Rayrir. That's why I wanted to go back, to kill the person who had brought new possibilities to our realm. I'm sure it was a futile endeavor, but the abyss probably enhances the basest human desires. So I naively hoped I could change everything. But I was simply too weak. Like a speck of dust against the whole universe. Look at me. I didn't even survive the journey here. Not physically, at least. I know I'm never getting out of here. But you're different. You can make it, and I want to help you. I owe you that much.
How do you plan to help me?
Have you noticed the golden energy that exists here? Based on my past research and my observations since coming here, I believe they carry you forward faster. I can share what I've learned, and help you understand the pattern in which this energy appears. I think you just might... Now, I know you will be able to change the past. Also, I've been speculating about where this space ends. The documentation was scanned, but from what I know of the legends about the moons, the oldest ones seem to begin with Nibelung, king of dragonkind. I have no way of verifying any of it by this point, but if it's true, you might be able to reach that era if you keep walking.
Understood. Thank you, Miss Thelindis.
I'm the one who should be thanking you. If you hadn't entered this realm of everlasting death, what use would my deductions be? Thanks to you, they have some meaning. About Rayrir, I'm so sorry. For everything.
It wasn't your fault.
That's not true. Because we both feared bringing trouble upon each other, neither of us ever told the truth. And that dishonesty sealed our fates. But enough about that. I wish you a safe journey, Miss Columbina. And may the outside world never have to experience pain like this again. Rayrir, you're there, aren't you? I cannot see you, because you exist in the future. I expect we'll be trapped in this prison of space-time for all eternity. But please, gaze upon the past, and then sit for a while. Let's find a place to sit down together, just like we did when we first met.
How long have I been walking? How much further till I reach the end? Is there even an end to be found? Everything's getting blurry. Huh? Are you all right, little sister? Have you come from the distant future?
How exactly did the moons just disappear? Shouldn't it be a little harder to get rid of major creations like moons?
The world is a vast and ancient place. On a certain scale, all life lasts for but a fleeting moment.
Miss Nicole explained that the moon goddesses likely perished in the War of Funerary Flame. The moons themselves were also destroyed at that time, save for the Frost Moon, from which a new moon goddess was later born.
Am I missing something then? 'Cause the stories say that the moon goddesses were born on the moon, but doesn't Columbina say she was born in Nodcry? Huh, you're right!
Why do their birthplaces differ? What's the difference between the two generations of moon goddesses?
Also, remember what Sandrone said? Her scans detected 4 moons. In other words, 4 moon marrows.
Technically, the result of the scan means that 4 moon marrows were detected and positively identified as moons in that moment. In other words, This piece of information alone isn't enough for us to know how Miss Columbina is doing right now.
Yep, we have no way of staying up to date on whether she's dead or alive. She's on her own for now.
But at least she's trying her best to get back to us.
Yeah. She's a tough cookie. And a sore loser, too. We have to trust that she'll find a way. Because we really need her power. As much as it pains me to say it, we've got no chance of beating Dottore in a straight-up fight. He's much too powerful. It wouldn't even be close. That maniac is going to devour everything in his path until he reaches us. We need to find someone or something that can stop him before he does anything worse. I'll be frank. Our only hope of defeating this false god is with a real moon goddess on our side. I'm not just saying this because Columbina's a friend and I want her back safe and sound. It's just the truth. And I know that even she was no match for him when he attacked, but I don't have a better solution.
We're not giving up on saving her, whether she can defeat Dottore or not.
Right. Don't worry, Miss Sandrone. We're all aligned on saving Columbina.
No one's trying to argue that we can only justify saving our friend because it will help save the world. This is about multitasking. We want to save both.
So, she's more than just a moon goddess to you guys?
Absolutely.
Duh! She's part of the king! And you are too, you know.
Yes, I know. You don't need to labor the point. I knew that the moment I came running over with my documents that I was part of the in-group. I mean, if Arlecchino can fit in, I certainly can. Anyway, as for how we get Columbina back, I've been working on it constantly. But I think I'm still lacking certain information about the moon. I'd probably get there if I could continue my calculations, but the problem is, I've run out of computing power.
Computing power? You mean you need more energy?
No, the issue isn't energy, it's processing power. There's so much data to get through that the whole process has just ground to a halt.
That's a tricky problem.
René de Petrichor of the Nazissenkreuz Ordo once foretold the fate of the world. But I don't know how he did it. My guess is that he used the primordial sea's power. However, that won't work for me. His methodology was vastly different from my own. What's worse, they're incompatible. And to top it all off, we can't even leave Nodcry. Ugh, this is so annoying. If I'd known we'd run into a bottleneck like this. Well, no, the design bureau's a bust as well. Curse that Dottore! Couldn't have made this harder for me if he tried.
Oh, what do we do then? How about we grab a bite to eat and take a break? Maybe something will come to mind after you've cleared your head.
You don't get it, do you? I'm trying to calculate the fate of an entire world here. And I need accurate results, not big prophecies. Where the heck am I gonna find the computing power for that? Ahem. Anyway, time to shelve the discussion on technical difficulties. Being a killjoy isn't very ladylike after all.
Either way, we've done what we can. Rest well, everyone. Remember to let us know if anything new comes up.
Hat guy? Is he hinting that we should talk outside?
Let's go somewhere a little more private. You know that Dory went back to Sumeru, right?
Yeah, she mentioned she was planning to head back.
Things aren't looking good for Nodcry. She's gone to spread the word so that Sumeru has a chance to prepare for the worst. From what I know of Dottore, there are two possible reasons why he hasn't made a move yet. One is that he's still working through some kinks in his new powers. The other is, he wants to see how we're going to react. He'll easily devour everything eventually, so I guess he's in no rush to make it happen. The first false god he made was me. Now it's his turn. Even though my records were erased from Irminsul, Dottore ideas haven't changed one bit. He once told me that becoming a god was like turning yourself into a hungry wolf or giant serpent to devour the moon. Clearly, he began studying the moon goddess's powers long before he even tried making a god. He's always wanted to get his greedy hands on divine authority one way or another. And in the end, he devoured the moon where I failed. In the desert of Sumeru, there is a chessboard built by King Deshret, also known as Al-Ahmar. I don't know if it was a real game, or if he was just trying to challenge his servants and citizens in some way. But creating games and setting rules, gods do that as a matter of course. That's the kind of power Dottore craves. Now he has the Trilunar Authority. His power is leagues beyond the common people. I don't think there's any point in other nations rushing to the front line. They're better off focusing on defense and hoping they can fend off any threats that spill out from Nodcry. Either way, Dori will inform Lesser Lord Kusanali, and she will contact the other gods in turn. The Seven will have some recourse available. If nothing else, their protection should keep the rest of the world from descending into chaos as quickly as Nodcry has. So on the bright side, even if Nodcry is doomed, your friends in other nations won't be in any immediate peril.
That's good to know. But I'm not ready to give up on Nodcry yet.
There's a word for people who refuse to let anything go. It's called being greedy.
Maybe it sounds greedy to you, and probably naive too. But whatever you call it, that's what gives me the determination to keep fighting. Battles are fleeting, but the will to fight is a long-term commitment. Give up for even a moment, and your resolve will shatter.
Why do you always feel the need to do the right thing? No one is born to be a savior. I mean, who's gonna criticize you if you fail or give up?
Don't take this the wrong way, but Dottore said something similar to me. I guess the VIII attracts people who don't believe in saviors.
Not necessarily. It's less about belief for me. I just want to know how determined you really are. After all, I don't owe anything to anyone else here. Only you.
You look kinda worried.
If your arch-nemesis was about to achieve their ultimate goal, I think you might feel a little worried too.
That's true. Dottore is about to become an omniscient, omnipotent deity. That's gotta be a bitter pill to swallow. Still, you're calmer than I expected.
Obviously. I have to admit that my past self was a reckless fool who misunderstood not only the point of revenge, but how to achieve it. And as much as I want my vengeance, I know I'm not gonna get it by acting alone. If the world's taught me anything, it's to think before I act. Too bad it never taught me any other virtues, though. So, I am going to destroy Dottore, no matter what it takes.
So, what's your plan?
I'll get to that. First, tell me, what do you think of Sandrone?
Just like Paimon said, she's a friend, part of the gang.
How much do you trust her? This is a serious question. Think carefully before you answer.
Although she's with the VIII, she has her own values, and she's helped us a lot. If nothing else, she's clearly going the extra mile for Columbina. I see no reason not to trust her.
If you say so. In that case, the three of us need to talk. I have some thoughts about her computing problem. It can be solved, but it will come with a cost.
How much? If I can afford it, I'll cover it.
Sometimes your heroism really backs me into a corner. You know that? Come on, let's go talk to her.